Yeah, yeah. One West. Yeah, easy. I'm sorry. Me need a break. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We work hard in a life, hustle every day and all in a night. Man a hunt for the goal and a dig it in a road and a live no life. I'm sorry, me need a break, I'm sorry. Right now me a seek time for myself and me a shell down some party. Me stress, me a look for a recess. For me brain me a refresh. This a game me a reset. Move to the girl inna the peach dress. The body a roll she a the neatest. She nah no man, nah that a the weakness. So me the in her ears but not like a real pest. Nah, just a move with a vibe. Because we a pour the mood is alive. If you do 9 to 5 I know you a get rich, you do realize. I'm sorry, me need a break, I'm sorry. Right now we a pour kulu rum on Hennessy with Campari. That is it. Move to that girl, let the body tick. What is it? You know see me attack low the politics. Watch it twist. No one see no ratchet flick, no matic click. No negative energy, a positive. One West I keep the peace and no magic trick. We a dance till the night gone. We a groove, we a vibe. And no care, no fear right off. Make it home with your life. Me say, me no want see you leave yet. Me no want see you depressed. We a party for de-stress. We work hard in a life, hustle every day and all in a night. Man a hunt for the goal and I mash up the road and I live no life. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Me stress, me a look for a recess. For me brain me a refresh. This a game me a reset. Move to the girl inna the peach dress. The body a roll she a the neatest. She nah no man so that a the weakness. So me the inna it here that a no real test. Nah. Alright, Shalom Israel. Welcome again to another ISUPK Jamaica Law Class, ISUPK under Commanding General YAHANNA. I say Yahweh Basham Yahweh Brakakam to my brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alathan Basham Yahweh Shai to my sisters. You understand? ISUPK was founded 1969, Harlem, New York, 125th Street. ISUPK is where the Hebrew Israelite, you know what I mean, concept came from. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, it did not go anywhere else. You know what I mean? If you see other groups out there, Commanding General YAHANNA did not give them permission to go out there and teach what they are teaching. If they really meant the truth, any good, they would be here with us. You understand? Christ himself said, you know what I mean? If they are not, you know what I mean, on our part, they would be with us. So, you know what I mean? Soon you'll find out who the Most High is with. It always happens. See? And we always preach brotherhood. We always encourage brothers. You know what I mean? Come, you know what I mean? Come sit with us. Come find out the origin of the thing. See? Come find out the truth of the matter. You know what I mean? Break bread with us and, you know what I mean? Let us come together. You know what I mean? Of course, they don't want to do that. Understand? So, eventually, like the Christian church, like the Muslim mosque, like the Rastafari community, the people will find out that, you know what I mean, them full of crap. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So what we are going to do right now is we are going to talk about something that is not being spoken about. And we are talking about the Venezuelan aid to Jamaica, right? And these are things that we need to highlight, right? And I see comments that people are saying, yes, socialism and rare, but we in ISUPK, we don't follow no ism or schism. You understand? So we just care about who the 12 tribes of Israel are. You know what I mean? And the brothers and sisters in Venezuela, those are the tribes of Asher. You know what I mean? Those are the natives to that land. You know what I mean? What, you know what I mean? This world called Hispanics. The Hispanics and black people over here in the West are blood brothers. You understand? And blood sisters. We are from the same race of people. Don't look at the appearance. You know what I mean? We get caught up in the appearance and the colorism, and we end up tying ourselves to Africans who themselves look like us, and we are not them. You know what I mean? We are not related to the Africans whatsoever. See? We are related to the Hispanics. See? But the propaganda of the oppressor is that we are Africans because it took us, some of us, from the land of Africa. You know what I mean? Let me just rant a little bit. Then we'll come back on track, right? It's important that we bring out them things because many of our people don't even know that some of us never even, ever. Many of us here in Jamaica, our ancestors have never set foot in the land of Africa. Never. Many of us came from Britain. Many of us came from Scotland during the time of the Jacobite rebellion, where we lost that war and we were taken here as prisoners of war. But the people who were taken from West Africa, we and them are the same people. Now, the Africans who are native to Africa, those are not our people. Our people fled into Africa because we were fleeing from the Romans. You understand? Because we know that if the Romans were looking for us, they would have a hard time finding us if we went among some people that resembled us. But the people that resembled us knew that we were not them. And we were not welcome. But it's a good thing we were a strong people. You know what I mean? We are the most highest people. So we held our own in Africa until they got musket guns, you know what I mean? Until technology increased. And they team up with the oppressor and got us out. So that's my little rant for now. All right, so Venezuela, however, our brothers, the tribe of Asher, of course, you know, we have a lot of Europeans, and most of the these Caribbean countries, where are not only Caribbean countries, not South Central American countries, where the children of Israel are the dominant in majority, it's usually ruled by oppressors. You know what I mean? So it tends not to be an Israelite who is at the helm. You understand? We in Jamaica, we have had prime ministers who are not black. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with Mexico. I think the Mexican president is an Ashkenazi Jew. You know what I mean? She's a fake Jew. She's Jewish. You know what I mean? So this is typically the situation with us wherever the 12 tribes of Israel are. Why? Why is this the case? It's because this is not our rest. This is not our home. This is the homes of our captivity. See? So you find out that who rules these countries are usually oppressors. But nevertheless, our brothers and sisters in Venezuela, you know what I mean, they gave humanitarian aid to Jamaica, you know what I mean? And this, I think, we should talk about instead of giving so much credit to the Chinese, right? As a matter of fact, not think, I know that this is what we should highlight. When aid come from Mexico, when aid come from Venezuela, Trinidad, you know what I mean? When aid come from, you know what I mean, whichever of our Caribbean or North Central and South American brothers and sisters, we should appreciate that and hold that there, because guess what? These are countries that are in need of aid too. You know what I mean? Venezuela, them in a situation right now, they must steer war, you know, they must steer down the barrel of a gun right now. See? And then still find it in themselves to show some compassion to Jamaica. This is how you know the children of Israel. You understand? Another thing I saw where the Hard Rock Hotel, I think that's the name, the Hard Rock Hotel in Florida, which that particular branch was owned by the Seminole Indians. If you don't know who the Seminole Indians, they are the tribe of Reuben. See? They are the ones that fought the oppressor and they didn't lose. But of course, them take a massive blow. Unlike the Gadites, the native Indians, the Seminole Indians, they didn't lose. You understand? They were able to maintain them structure. You know what I mean? And the Hard Rock Hotel is owned by the one in Florida, or that particular place in Florida is owned by Seminole Indians. And when the storm happened, they put up the Jamaican flag. Because I guess the hotel have a LED light, you know, them modern type buildings. So then just display the Jamaican flag in solidarity to us. These are the things that we should hold dear when the other tribes, you know what I mean, actually show us some, you know what I mean, empathy. They did before, you know, we just never pay it no mind. We don't care. Because we don't know that these are our brothers, these are our sisters. We don't care. But when the Chinese show us some kind of, you know what I mean, help, we clap them as if them are God. And this is how you know who we are now. Because we treat the other nations as if they are God. You know what I mean? When the Chinese could have done much more than what they did. You understand? Let me show you something. With the wealth and the connection that the Chinese have, we shouldn't even need any humanitarian aid from nobody else. See? With the foundation, let me not say foundation, with the footing that the Chinese have here in Jamaica, nobody should have had to call them out to do this. And if you're asking, this is the reason why they did it. They were called out. Somebody did a video saying, where's the Chinese? And that is the reason why they did this video. You understand? And many people are come out in defense of the Chinese as if the Chinese didn't gain them wealth off of our backs. We are the ones that made the Chinese rich here in Jamaica. How is it that a hurricane passed through Jamaica and it is we that need help and not the Chinese? I want you to think about that, you know. This is our country, so-called. Of course, we know this is not our country, right? We're still under the oppressor. You know what I mean? But just think about it. The hurricane passed through Jamaica. But yet still, we are the ones that need support. The Chinese don't need no support because them accumulate enough wealth to fix any damage, build up anything. They don't need no support from no, probably not even from China. You understand? It's because they have accumulated so much wealth on this island. See? That they are in a strong footing that they don't need help from nobody. But you need help. You need support. You understand? And that is because you have given up your power to these other nations. These other nations are the ones that are in charge and you are the ones at the bottom of society. So, you know what I mean? A hurricane passed and now you are left to pick up the scraps. You know what I mean? And again, if somebody never call out the Chinese, me included, because that video I shared and it went semi-viral. See? And after that, about a week after I see the Chinese start, the video said them a help out and rare. You understand? Photo app. That's a photo app. We know the Chinese, all right, them always say, well, the Chinese do a lot of things for Jamaica, them just not talk about it. Oh, really? Is that so? Is that so? The Chinese do a lot of things for themselves, them brothers and sisters here in Jamaica, when it comes to benefiting them, when it comes to, you know what I mean, giving to politics and politicians. You understand? So that them can have them way. The Chinese do not. And let me say it correctly. If they do it in the minority. The Chinese are not known to give back to charity. They are not known to give back to charity. You understand? So when the Chinese come out and do this photo app, I see everybody bowing down to the Chinese and I say, yeah man, that's what hear a man say. Him a go look upon the Chinese differently after this. Just that alone can tell you the character of the Chinese here in Jamaica. Just think about it. If a man can say, no, him a go look upon the Chinese different because them give back to hurricane relief. That kind of tell you what kind of people the Chinese are. That they are not usually doing those stuff. So him a go look upon them differently because initially he look at them as a mean people. And that is what most of Jamaica look at the Chinese as a selfish group of people, and they are a selfish group of people. See? The Chinese are selfish to black people here in Jamaica. I have some ignorant person who say, well, when you want to work, you can go to the Chinese establishment, but what is the pay? Does the Chinese pay you favorably in an establishment? We all know the scam that the Chinese pull, right? Them hire you, but them don't keep you for too long. That way you can't accumulate no kind of benefit out of the work. You understand? Them don't keep you for too long, them fire you and then hire somebody else. So if you're working for your Chinese, it just come like you're wasting time. A desperate people work for the Chinese. People who can't do no better than that. Because there's no benefit from working. That's why most people steal from the Chinese. You understand? Enough people are going to say, well, that's the reason why them fire them, because them stealing. That's the reason why people steal from them, because you can't benefit from nothing that the Chinese do. The Chinese are a stingy people here in Jamaica. The Chinese are mean. So that's why that brother could say, no, we're going to look upon the Chinese different. Because we know the Chinese to be a mean people here in Jamaica, and that's the fact. You can't deny that. If you try to debate that, you're going to lose. You understand? So without further ado, we're going to play that tape here. You know what I mean? This is Venezuela donating some stuff to the hurricane relief here in Jamaica. You know the thing already. In the meanwhile, everybody like, share, follow, subscribe, depending on the platform you're watching on. And if you have questions,
Indeed,
just please
today we are beginning an operation to provide assistance and deliver supplies to both the Republic of Cuba and Jamaica, following the impacts suffered by these islands due to Hurricane Melissa, which has affected the Caribbean and has substantially affected these populations. Torrential rains, hurricane force winds that damaged infrastructure in Jamaica and caused the loss of life. Fortunately, in the case of Cuba, there were no casualties, but there were significant impacts. But we must emphasize that today we are sending 26 tons directly through our flag carrier, our airline Conviasa, to the Republic of Cuba. We are exchanging 20 tons of different supplies, the most important ones, medical, food, and infrastructure supplies to address the emergency. 20 tons to Jamaica, 26 tons to Cuba. We are preparing to send a ship that will leave in the coming days with more than 3,000 tons of aid also to the Republic of Cuba.
Yeah, man, those are the things that we should highlight, you know what I mean, when our regional brothers and sisters donate. Not when some vulture who live here for over 100 years, see, get rich off of the back of black people, you know what I mean, come out on the internet, call us dunce. You understand? Call us all type of things. Tell them children that we are slaves. You know what I mean? But yet still we impress with them because them grow strong and them have a nation. No. We should appreciate when our brothers and sisters support us. You understand? We're going to jump to a scripture now. See? We're going to jump to Ecclesiastes 7:7. And this is what it says. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. You know what I mean? Oppression that we are familiar with here in Jamaica. The Bible is letting you know that surely oppression will make a wise man, a man that knows better, a man that has wisdom, it will make him angry. It will make him lash out. It will make him steal. You understand? It will make him, you know what I mean, steal from a Chinese because him see the oppression. And it's so funny, you know, they like to paint us as if we are the bad in society. You know what I mean? We are the this and we are the that. You know what I mean? Everywhere the children of Israel are, we are portrayed as the villain. When we are the oppressed. You understand? And the Bible tells you that surely oppression will make a wise man mad. That's why you will see a ghetto you turn to crime. China gang. You understand? Because oppression makes a wise man mad. It will make him angry. Your living situation will make you, you know what I mean, anti-social. You understand? It will make you angry with society. It will make you go down the wrong path. You understand? Because you're oppressed. Let me continue. And a gift destroys the heart. And that is what we are seeing the situation with Chinese. The Chinese give us a gift, and all of a sudden, your heart is all destroyed. Your mind is destroyed. See? No, you look upon the Chinese differently. No, you pray them different. No, it's the same mean people, and it's just that they might use the opportunity to say, then it help out. So that when, you know what I mean, it is time for you to start spending your money back with them now. Yeah, we remember we did help out. But in normal circumstances, you don't help out. You don't help the citizens of Jamaica. You don't help black people here in Jamaica. Even though all of your wealth that you gain it through us. You understand? Ask yourself this question. Can we go to China and set up shop? Can a black person go to China and set up shop in China? Say, for example, you sell Jamaican food in China. No, the Chinese government not going to allow that. You understand? If they not push you out physically, them do things to make you, you know what I mean, you're not profitable, so you have to just give up. You understand? But you know where you will find in China? You will find Chinese people have Jamaican restaurant in China. You understand? Somebody say, let me up. This is not a debate. Get in a class. You understand? Get in a class, bro. This is not a debate. See? So, you will have Chinese people having, you know what I mean, Chinese Jamaican restaurant, cooking Jamaican food. You know what I mean? You will find that in China. So if you as a Jamaican decide, say, life seems good in China, right? China is booming. Let me go to China and see if we can find a better life for myself. You will find out how racist the Chinese really are. But the Chinese will not only produce your goods in China and profit from it, but come amongst you and profit off of you. You have Chinese restaurants here in Jamaica, right? You have Chinese wholesales. You have Chinese supermarket. You have all type of Chinese establishment. You understand? So the Chinese, they have the freedom that you don't have. The red tape where you have, you don't even have freedom in Jamaica. For the most part, all right. Is it safe to say that Jamaican people are not ambitious? Would I be telling the truth if I said Jamaican people are not ambitious? Black people may attack. And don't want good for themselves in a life. Eh? See? Right, mother wrong. So where the sentiment come from that Jamaican people are we no want this and we no want that and really don't no go so. Every corner you look, you see a cook shop. Every corner you look, you see like a small shop. You see a stall, you see something where I'm gonna try. See? So tell me now, why is it that we have the ambition to do it on a small scale and not a big scale? Is it that we don't have the ambition? That's not the case. Everybody would want to do these things on a large scale. Everybody would want to have a wholesale in a downtown, a big restaurant. Whoever want to do that, see, they would have loved to have it. But guess what? You're not free to operate in Jamaica. You're only told that, you know what I mean? Yes, the freedom is there, but there's no freedom. See? If you go to the bank, the regular man can't just get the money. So if you say, all right, I'm going to rent a spot in a downtown Kingston. You see a spot vacant, right? And you say, all right, how much this I go for? This I go for what? 250,000, $500,000. All right, you're going to rent it. How much people have that money to pay a month? How much black people have that money to pay a month? Not too many. So guess what they have to go do? They have to go to the bank. They have to go to the bank. And what do you think happen when them go to the bank? And then tell the bank them business proposal. I see a vehicle lot in, you know what I mean, on King Street. I think that's a perfect place to put my clothes store. You know what I mean, I'm a shoe store, I'm a rare, I'm a tear. And I was hoping to get a loan from the bank to, you know what I mean, start it as a small business loan. Zin, what do you think the bank are going to tell you? You don't qualify for that loan. But said bank, what do you think said bank tell the Chinese? Said bank tell the Chinese, go ahead. You know what I mean? Low interest, everything. That is how Jamaica set up, and that is the reason why most black people don't own establishments like that. It's not because we lack ambition. It's not because we don't know how to run a business. It's not because we're uneducated. It is because Jamaica is rigged. And Jamaica is rigged in favor of the other nations. And this is what you have to know. So when you hear me come out and I bash the Chinese, don't tell me say the little food the Chinese give you and the tissue them and the soap for the hurricane that we should bow down and worship the Chinese for that. Don't tell me that. You understand? In many countries, many nations would have not allowed the Chinese to come and monopolize all the commerce. You can't do that in India. They can't do that in Saudi Arabia. Only where blacks, Hispanics, and native Indians live, only where the 12 tribes of Israel are the Chinese, and not only the Chinese, other nations are able to do this because it's a rent-a-slave thing of one, and you know what I mean? You have to do that at ISUPK if you can see that. It's a rent-a-slave thing of one. The oppressor rent you out to them. So the oppressor don't have you in a captivity. These are the nations who are, in many cases, not even an ally. And this goes to show you that the oppressor have more respect for his enemy than him have for you. See? Not even him ally. Give me a second then. We'll do something quick and fast. See? In the meanwhile, everybody just like, share, follow. You know what I mean? Subscribe. Depending on the platform you're watching on. Give me a second. One second. You understand? So it's a rent-a-slave thing of one. Can't take a call, It's a rent-a-slave thing of one, you understand? Where the oppressor, Britain, America, and them who control Jamaica. See? Them just rent you out to the Chinese, to them enemies, so them enemies can make a money. And now the Chinese come and they are your new oppressor. You understand? Them live here in Jamaica, them live better than you. You understand? One sec. Just give me a sec, everybody. Okay, that's it. Hopefully live now.
The whole world will be joined in Esau and every other heathen.
Give me a second. Sorry about that. See? So it's basically like a renter slave thing I go on here so in Jamaica. So the Chinese, they are the ones allowed to, you know what I mean, set up shop. They are the ones allowed to profit. You know what I mean? But you are not allowed to do it. You understand? Hold on. You understand? Okay, I can't change what this. The screen gets so bright. I'm gonna look so. Alright, but that's it. See? So we'll read about that scripture here. Ecclesiastes 7:7. And it says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. Right? And a gift destroy the heart. You know what I mean? And you see the thing about this gift that the Chinese give, you know what I mean? It makes you think that, well, the Chinese is not so bad. You understand? Well, all the wealth that they accumulate, you know what I mean? At least them help you. No, it's just a photo app. You understand? When our brothers and sisters, they help us out. Everybody know about the agreement that Venezuela had with Jamaica before the Americans intervened, where we'd get oil cheap and all them things. See? We'd get oil on a good price, gas on a good price from the Venezuelans. See, of course, America come mash up the deal there. You know what I mean? Now we have to go back to, you know what I mean, the status quo. See? Now the Americans force us to betray our brothers. Look at Trinidad, right? You have this heathen who rule over Trinidad right now. Camilla, something, you know what I mean? That woman, that East Indian woman. See? She's now dragging Trinidad into a situation where, you know what I mean? They might in between war between Venezuela and the USA. Because she have no care, she don't have no compassion for the black people in Trinidad. Fear people them safe. Because for the most part, it's not fear people them full up the armies of Trinidad. You know what I mean? I know the East Indians full up the armies, the military in Trinidad. So if it comes to, you know what I mean, if it come down to it, who will go fight? Black people. She certainly don't care about the Hispanics who come from, we live in Venezuela. You know what I mean? We can imagine the talking point from fear government standpoint as to the Venezuelans them who migrate to Trinidad. We can only imagine. If nobody in the chat come from Trinidad, will tell me. We can just imagine. See, what is the talking point when it comes to how she speak about the Hispanics that don't have no other choice but to flee to Trinidad for a better life? You can almost imagine that I see him sentiment as Donald Trump. You understand? Because we know how racist the East Indians are. The East Indians are very racist. The black people in Trinidad can tell you how racist the East Indians are to them. You know what I mean? So Trinidad right now in a situation where they are not our brothers, you know, this prime minister or this president. See, she is basically like using Trinidad as the launching pad against Venezuela. You understand? Which will eventually just cause, remember, you know, Venezuela and Trinidad are allies and are good friends, you know. This will cause a rift between the tribe of Benjamin and the tribe of Asher. Brothers and sisters. See? Because of a heathen. That's why the scripture said, Thou shalt not. You know what I mean? Let me find that scripture. I jump to Deuteronomy chapter 17 and verse 15, and it said, Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. You understand? So whoever you set king over you must be who the Most High choose. Let's continue. One from among thy brethren shall thou set king over thee. So the Most High gave us instruction that whoever we set king or to rule over us have to be from our brethren, have to be our brother. You understand? It can't be a heathen. Let me continue reading. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. Now, Camilla over there in Trinidad, she's not the brothers of the black people over there in Trinidad. She's not their sister. See? That is the reason why it's a small thing for she just instigate war between Venezuela against Venezuela. It's easy. Talking about, you know what I mean? They might fight drug trafficking and all them things there. Tell me, which boat can sail from Venezuela to the USA? No boat can sail from Venezuela to the USA. That's impossible. You understand? So these boats where them are bombed is not no drug boat. A regular fisherman them a kill. Regular fisherman them a kill, but it's an intimidation tactic against the Venezuelan. And this prime minister, you know what I mean, this heathen who rules over our brothers and sisters in Trinidad. She's, you know what I mean, she's enabling it. You understand? And Trinidad might just turn out worse because of it. Might just turn out, the worst might be coming to Trinidad because, you know what I mean, God forbid. See? But if war I go start between America and Venezuela, and America will operate from Trinidad, or Trinidad waters, Trinidad, I will get some of the blood. And you know who really ever suffer? The black people in Trinidad. Not the rich East Indians. You see, we here in Jamaica, we know the East Indians, you know. They are the same one them we call coolies, see? Them not too nothing, them not enough in Jamaica, you know. See, them not enough. I think the Chinese, I don't know if they're more than Chinese. But they're not enough in Jamaica. We are the overwhelming majority. But you see in Trinidad, half of the population. Let me Google it. What percentage of Trinidad population is East India? It's approximately 35 to 47%. I wanted to think about that, you know. So approximately nearly half of the population of East India, you know. We see a thing where they must say Trinidad is getting ready to do something for, you know what I mean, for basically glorify the East Indian roots. So Trinidad is basically an East Indian nation when you check it. But who full up the armies in Trinidad? Black people. Who are the poor people in Trinidad? Black people. See? So at the end of the whole thing, black people are going to suffer the most between this conflict between Venezuela and America. You understand? All right. So the East Indian is to Trinidad what the Chinese is to Jamaica, basically. You understand? The East Indian, although the Chinese is not as numerous, they make up 35% or 47% of Jamaican population. But they have power here in Jamaica. Let me give you an example. Our Minister of National Security, right? That tells the police them to go and analyze people. Want to listen to me, you know? He's a Chinese. You understand? When name Delroy Chuck, I think that's his name. He's a Chinese. That is how much power the Chinese have in Jamaica that they decide whether we live or die. And then they have one name that over justice. I don't know if he's still over it, but at one point in over the Ministry of Justice or something like that. See? So when you check it, the Chinese, them have good power in Jamaica. Not to mention the money where them donate to politicians to implement things that will ensure that them control Jamaica. And it's a tug and war, you know, because, you know what I mean, you have America on one side, see, and you have the Chinese on one side. Of course, many of the Chinese who started off in Jamaica were they were people who were fleeing from, you know what I mean, communism, you know what I mean, in China. But that don't mean say them don't have a home. That don't mean like them can't go back to China and them don't have relatives at China. That don't mean say them don't go to China and them not still good. Probably it was a problem back in a them time there. But where you think them get all them supplies from? If you want to say to yourself, well, those are different Chinese. Those are from the past where fled China and made Jamaica them own. Then where does this Chinese connection come from? That them get all the goods that them need to stock up them wholesale, you know what I mean, and monopolize it. It's because them have a country to go back to. You know what I mean? And when them go back to them, and not only that, you know, when them work, when them make them money in Jamaica, where you think it go back to? It go back to China, it go back to build up them country. Because them have an identity. Them know who them is. You understand? Regardless of what you think, them will still be Chinese. And the only reason why enough of them are take up this, I am Jamaica, I am Jamaican this and I am Jamaica that, is because you made Jamaica great. Is it the Chinese that made Jamaica Jamaica? Jamaica is popular upon the world map. Everybody wants to be Jamaica. They are not trying to be the Chinese people here in Jamaica. When you see people say, Bumbo clot and this bad will just become this big thing, and the Chinese make that. When you see people try the reggae music and them try them follow the Jamaican swag and them speak so highly about Jamaica, and the Chinese they must speak, the Chinese people they must speak highly of here in Jamaica, or the black people. And the black people they must speak highly of, because we the poor, we are the ones that made Jamaica, we are the ones that put Jamaica upon the map. So now you have Chinese people, whenever them go abroad, them want the world know that them live at, them come from Jamaica. But it wasn't so in the past. It wasn't so. One time them used to proud of them Chinese heritage. And now them still proud because China is, you can imagine how great it is to be a Jamaican Chinese today, right? Because you get the best of both worlds. China is growing, you know what I mean, so tremendously when it comes to economical growth and all them things, when it comes to technological growth and domination in the earth. But you still get to call yourself a Jamaican. You get to be one of the most powerful nations on earth and one of the most creative and popular nations on earth. It must be great to be a Chinese Jamaican today, eh? It must be wonderful because you get the best of both worlds. But the truth and the matter is, black people here in Jamaica are the ones that made Jamaica great. You understand? Made Jamaica what it is. See? And we also made the Chinese rich at our own expense. So when you see me come out and me say, look here, man, Zane, we now praise the Chinese for the little humanitarian aid, but we see them give out in a Westmoreland and so forth. We would have want them continue that. We not make them nothing, you know, bear in mind. It is better for us to take aid from our brothers and sisters, like, let's say, Venezuela, Trinidad, you know what I mean, Bahamas, you know what I mean, Brazil. These are our brothers. See? And this is what we should highlight and encourage. And as soon as them have a problem, we must be glad and ready to help them as well. So we not beg the Chinese nothing, but let we look and see if this humanitarian thing with the Chinese, if it continue until everybody reach back on them foot. The Chinese just had to do this for a photo app. You see, by December, all of that done, you know, because the Chinese, them have need to make back them money, you know. Because that is with the Chinese, it's all about business, you know. I'll tell you something. You see, when you deal with your people, business comes second place. But you see, when you deal with another nation of people, business is always a priority. And everything where you see the Chinese give it in the hurricane relief, they have a warm back through commerce. Because we know the Chinese don't give away nothing. You understand? Hey, Shalom. Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Thought. ISUPK Montreal in the chat. You know what I mean? Let me see what that person has said. Every race that out here is sending back money to their father country. That's why we don't have no money. That's right. You know what I mean? And you can't imagine if the money, the wealth, I leave Jamaica, we're already poor, and I go to another country. It's almost like we have to continuously make up back for what we are lose. When a Jamaican, a black Jamaican who don't have nowhere else to go, Zane, FIRME well stay in the country. You know what I mean? Firstly, FIRME bank have to be a Jamaican bank. You understand? He can't get a US bank account unless he go to the US. See? So the money would, and this is how you know that our oppressor and our black leaders here in Jamaica, see, they hate us more than how them love wealth and economic growth. Because it would make more sense for the privilege where you give the Chinese and the East Indians and the Arabs here in Jamaica. It would make more sense if you did give it to black people here in Jamaica, because we are the ones that don't have nowhere to go. We are the ones that, because Jamaica becomes so hard, we have to try and leave Jamaica to get a better life. Why is that? Why is that? Because everybody is put before us and we are the ones suffering. You understand? So it would make more sense if them just, all the privileges, them give it to black people instead of the Chinese. Because at least you sure know that the economy will grow if you give it to black people. Because black people, money are going to stay in the country. But the Chinese, them send back to them, to China. The Arabs send back to their country. You know what I mean? All these other nations of people, them send back the money and the wealth where they make here in Jamaica back home. So we will always have to be playing catch up. You understand? And this goes to show you how much we are hated here in Jamaica. Because even though helping us will help Jamaica, they rather help other nations. This is how you know that our oppression is not by accident, it is deliberate. Our condition here in Jamaica as black people, you know what I mean, and some, the small Hispanic, small amount of Hispanic that are still here, then our oppression is deliberate. It is not a thing that you're just not working hard enough. That's not it. It's not that you're not taking your book and education. No, that is not the reason why you are poor, and your family poor, and your generation before you're poor. That is not the reason why you're poor. The reason why you're poor here in Jamaica is because somebody wants you to be poor. You understand? And because we are so resilient, some people find different ways. You know what I mean? And come out of poverty. But that's the minority of us. You understand? That's the minority. Most of us live and die in poverty. Born in it and dead in it. And this is not by accident, because we are the most creative people on the island. The Chinese is not more creative. The Chinese is not more talented or skillful than us. But yet still we are at the bottom of society. You understand? Yeah, somebody says systematic sabotage against dark-skinned people of the island. You're absolutely right. J33, you're right. It's a systematic thing. And at the same thing with our brothers in the United States. Them under the same systematic, you know what I mean, racism. That's what them call systematic racism. See, where you are the first fired and the last hired. You know what I mean? The prison industrial complex where black people are the majority, even though they are the minority in America. You understand? Blacks and Hispanics. You understand? So when them try paint the picture as if we are this and we are that, it's not our fault. It's because you have a system in place to keep us that way. You know what I mean? You think them don't know, say, poverty will cause many of us to turn to crime? And let me show you that thing. And many of us not even look at, we don't look on it like this. And you can understand why we don't look at it like this, because one is too many. Zane, but when you check it, in every community is a minority of brothers and you can say sisters turn to crime. Minority. Tell the truth. In your community today, I mean, not condone it. Just hear me I say. See, what is the percentage of people who are criminals in your community? Say your community have 100,000 people. Or say your community is a community of 10,000 people. How many brothers and sisters are criminals in that community? Probably 20, 30 out of 10,000. I want to look into it, you know, for say it's a propaganda that them paint to make us out as we are the bad. We are not the bad. See, when you check your community, it's a high minority, it's a low minority, I mean, of our people really actually turn to crime. See, but yes, you will have our people turn to crime based on the condition that we are in. You think them don't know that poverty will cause you to turn to crime? Them do study upon them things, you know. Them do experiments with lab animals, you know. With dogs, you know. Them do experiment with dogs, you know. You put a hungry dog in a cage. Then are two hungry dogs in a cage, right? And you starve them for days. You know what I mean? When you finally put some food in that cage, you know, them dog, they have them first priority is not the food, you know. Them first priority is to unalive the next dog so that they don't get the food before them. You understand? When you put it on a bigger scale like how you have it now here in Jamaica in the garrison, you will have such a thing named crime. Of course, it's not that black and white, there's different factors, but the result will always end up the same. We unaliving each other for some reason that when you boil it down, is because of the condition that we are in as a people. You don't see uptown people, all right, experiment. You see uptown people unaliving them one another. People who have wealth, are they killing each other? People in a cherry, how much people in a cherry garden you see are unalive them one another? You understand that? Yeah, you're so right. And I'm still a run experiment power with too. You understand? So, you ever hear about a gun crime happening between two Cherry Garden residents? Them too busy making money. You understand? I mean, now say money is the, you know what I mean, all we should aspire to. This is not the case. You know what I mean? But they know that poverty will cause us to be violent. And it's usually violent to each other because you don't see Jamaicans going on the tourist resorts and robbing tourists. You might have 1 and 2 robberies in some big communities, but you know what I mean, it's not too prevalent. It's not as much as we rob each other. You get what I say? Because it's not about us being bad. And this is, you know, how we are not a bad people. But in terms of, all right, we are bad in this sense. We turn our back on our God. We should have been the righteous people on earth. But because we turn our back on our God, you know what I mean, now we live an unrighteous life as a people. See? But in terms of comparison with the other nations, or them paint us as we are the worst, this is proof that we are not the worst. We only harm each other. If we were so bad, where is the death of the tourist that comes to Jamaica? You don't see it. Where is the overwhelming crime against the Chinese? Where is the overwhelming robbery of the Chinese and the East Indians and the Arabs? You know what I mean? Other nations that live here in Jamaica. You don't see it. We only do these things to each other. Why? Because really and truly, we are really too afraid to do it to anybody else. You understand? We're too afraid to do it to anybody else, so we do it to each other. That shows you what? We are not the predators. We are the victims. Because all we do is hurt ourselves. You understand? Let me see. You understand? And let me tell you something. When it comes to revolution amongst black people, see, a revolution never really work unless the most are in our side. You know what I mean? It never really work. See? If you even check the revolution in 80, it never work, you know. It never work. It failed. Even though them defeated the French, eventually them end up back under the French. The French monopolize everything, and now our black brothers in 80, they are poor. And now you have oligarchs who, you know what I mean, who are descendants of the French. See? In 80, finance gangs to kick out them white parents, but them white too, because of them fathers, them kick out. So them arm up the gangs that are the black people in 80. These oligarchs, these, you know, call them half white, but them really white because them father white. See? These are the oligarchs in 80. Them arm up the tribe of Levi, the black people in 80. Finance these gangs, make them strong, to kick out them father. That are the white man who run 80, the white French. So now them control 80 and them control the resource. So that way you see a go on at 80 is not a revolution. It's a manipulation. You understand? Many of the gang leaders them speak out. When name Barbecue, him come out, make a disclaimer that he's not getting financed by no oligarchs. And the reason why him said that is because it's come out that is the oligarchs them. I didn't know them, you know, are finance gangs. But he's claiming that no, he's not one of them. But more likely he is. Or initially he was, and then he break off. But now he might look for come to peace with America. America send FIRME, say, boy, they might get him out. And he must say, well, I'm ready to give up myself. You know why I'm ready to give up himself? That's why I'm tell you, there's no revolution. Him ready to give up himself because he knows a war when he can't win. And he know say there's nothing to achieve in continuing doing what he do. And he probably look upon it and say it's only our people are dead. So I'm willing to give up himself because the idea he probably don't want all of the burden upon field shoulder when it's all set and done. And rest assured, them could have get him out long time if him is still there because they want a scapegoat. You understand? So later on when them have used field and them want to make some big move, them use him as a scapegoat. He's only still there because them want a scapegoat. But this gang violence where take over 80 is not no gang get up and decide to rare. You know what I mean? Our government can't look at it as to say, well, them no want Jamaica go down that part because, you know what I mean? That is impossible here in Jamaica. It is impossible. Because you don't have them type of oligarchs there with a fine. Unless, if that happen in Jamaica, just know that it's external forces behind it. And black people here in Jamaica have too much worries and stress on them head to even rebel against them sufferation, yet alone to start a revolution. We don't have it in us. Not at this point. Right now, we are the lamb to the slaughter right now. We have no means to say, boy, we have to fight back this oppressor. It is not possible. The only hope we have left is the hope that the ISUPK is giving you right now. And is that you come back to your nationality as the 12 tribes of Israel. Keep the Most High laws and watch this place burn to the ground. Because the Most High is going to destroy Babylon. That is a promise. What we are preparing you for, we are preparing you that you do not get caught up in this destruction. A revolution has never worked, and it especially can't work in these times. Your phone are watching. So if you yourself decide say you're going to do a thing by your own, how much damage you can do? You can't do much damage. More than you just die or them carry you to jail. You know what I mean? So, then there are things I want to look at. Don't think that we're going to pick up machete or we're going to pick up firearms and fight this oppressor. You can't fight the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Yet alone the Jamaican Defense Force. Yet alone the British Army. Yet alone the US Army. You understand? We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You understand? It is not practical to say you have to fight this oppressor. It is practical for us to clean up our act door as a people. You understand? It is practical for us to stop doing drugs, stop smoking weed. You know what I mean? Stop being the face or stop being the scapegoat that they use to paint, you know what I mean, a negative image here in Jamaica and wherever we are and over here in this captivity. See, stop being criminals. Start keeping the Most High laws again. You know what I mean? The Most High said this. See? This is the 2 Chronicles 7 and 14. See? And it said, if my people, which are called by my name, right, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sins and will heal their land. See, this I say a lot, you know. So it I say, the people who are called by my name. I know you hear the Christian church, you know what I mean, say this, but you'll never get explanation from this. What it mean? Who is called by the Most High name? What does that mean? Anybody in the chat? Which people on this earth is of the Most High name? Who on this earth of the Most High name? Let me read it again. If my people which are called by my name, meaning we are called by the Most High's name. Who is that? The Most High, I tell you who him I talk to, you know. Him not talk to everybody. When a Christian pastor take up the Bible and read that and then preach a nice sermon and then take your money. And you can't get formula from him. If you ask him for nothing, he'll tell you to go pray. See? When him read that, he don't understand what that means, you know. What it mean by the people who are called by my name? Anybody? Somebody said, Jacob tribute last day said, that's right, Jacob Israel. Now I hear that, you're right. But for break it down even further, the reason why we are called by the Most High name is because we are called sons of God. That's literally in the name of our nation. Israel in Hebrew is Yashar Allah. Yah is the, Shar is prince, and Allah means power. You know what I mean? The Muslims think Allah means the Most High's name, but Allah just means power, or it means God. It's not God's name. But our name is Prince, or the Prince of the Power, which translates sons of God. We are called by the Most High name because we are God's children. We are the sons of God. They literally have to call us sons of God. That's what we are. That's our name. Our name, Israel or Yashar Allah, it means sons of God. That's literally what it means. So when a nation are referring to us, I say, which nation is that person from? Sons of God. It's obvious. It can't hide it. I guess we get a lot of hate from the other nation because of that. Because which nation are you from? Sons of God. Yashar Allah. So that's why the Most High say, if my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray. Mean, come out of our pride. We're so proud as a people. You know what I mean? Thinking that we don't need the Most High. We think that we can, you know what I mean, do this all on our own. So we turn to every wickedness under the sun. You know what I mean? Not knowing that we get punished for that because we are called by somebody's name. We are somebody's children. If you belong to parents, they will not allow you to conduct yourself in any way. And if you insist, rest assured that any blessing you would get from that parent, you're not get it no more. And that is the reason why our situation is so jammed up over here as a people. That is the reason why you always have to say, boy, I don't know what's wrong with black people. The Hispanics them say too, boy, I don't know what is wrong with La Raza. Them say it too because we're in the same situation, we are the same people. We are sons of God. But the Most High say if we will humble ourselves, especially seeing the hurricane we pass through there, this should have been proved to us that we are not out of harm's way. We need the Most High protection because look our category 5 hurricane that rarely makes landfall as a category 5. Decide that it will make landfall and wipe out the whole of Jamaica west. Them thing you have to see and humble yourself, saying and pray. What we should pray for. We don't have to pray with the pastor pray. The pastor pray that he can get more money in his coffers, that he can get a better house, a better car, you know what I mean, that he can get blessings overflow. We should pray that Christ come and overthrow our oppressor so that we can go back in our own land. and become a nation again. That is what we pray for. We pray for the Most High will be done. See? Like what the prayer said. The Lord's prayer said, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Christ tell you, when you pray, pray like this. Don't pray, Father, I need this new job. So we can make more money. You know what I mean? Live a better life. That is a Christian prayer. That's selfish. When the Most High make sure so you have clothes for your back already, and he make sure you have food in your belly, and you have roof over your head. So he don't know what you need. If the Most High want you to be rich, he would make you rich. You understand? But Christ tell you, when you pray, pray like this. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. That is how you pray. And when the Most High will is done, we as a people, we benefit from it because we are his people. But now, who for will is being done on earth right now? The white man, the oppressor. The scripture said, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Let me find that. We are jump to Job 9 and 24. And it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the face or the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? This scripture is almost like a riddle. See? And we have to understand black people write the Bible. So, if you read it through the eyes of Christianity, you will get jammed. See? This said the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So, the wicked controls the earth. A Christian will say, yeah, look how much wicked people there around me, neighbor wicked, me this wicked, me that wicked. That is not the earth. This is talking about rulership of the earth. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Somebody rules the earth, and they are the wicked. So let me continue. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. See, so he covered the face of the judges of the earth. Who are supposed to be the judges of the earth? The judges are the prophets in the Bible. The judges are the children of Israel, who the Most High have a covenant with, who are God's chosen people. The main judge that them cover and face is who? Who is the main judge that this oppressor cover and face? Somebody in the chat, tell me. Who is the main judge that this oppressor cover and face? Somebody said, Israel Jacobs. You're right, but me I thought the main judge. Somebody said Levi. You're right as well, but me I thought the main judge, the main one, the main person with them cover and face. Me I go on about 20 seconds. Somebody said God. You're right, but that is not the main one. Because remember, them teachers said, nobody know what God look like. All right, see that? The odd one said Christ, right? Them cover Christ's face. See? When them tell about Christ, them say Christ is a white man, them show you that white image covering his face. Let me read this again. It said, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. See? And the main judge who judge this earth, who will come and judge this earth too. See? Because Christ will come back to bring judgment on the earth. Them cover Christ's face. When the Bible says Christ is a black man, what him say? What the oppressor said? No, Christ is white. Then paint an image, the Roman Catholic Church paint an image and show you, depict him as this blonde-haired, blue-eyed devil. When the Bible said him have woolly hair and skin of brass. You understand? So this is how them cover the faces of the judges. Them tell you, say, the children of Israel are those Jewish people over there in the land of Palestine. Covering the judges. We are supposed to be the rulers of this earth, judging this earth. But yet still, them paint us as being, you know what I mean? They give our identity to somebody else. They cover the faces. And when it say cover our faces, it talk about your appearance. Like what the judges should look like, them hide it. So them hide who the real children of Israel are. Them hide who Christ really is. Them hide who Solomon is. Them hide who the prophet is. The prophets are. So you know here in Jamaica, you can't even fathom you being descendants of the children of Israel. But this prophesied in the Bible. So that's what this oppressor would do. And that is why you call yourself Africans. That is why you call yourself Spaniard, like, you know what I mean, our Hispanic brothers. And this is how you know we are the same people. We are the only group of people that call ourselves somebody else. Blacks and Hispanics. What else we have in common? We serve slavery together under the same oppressor. We live in the same garrison. In Trinidad, blacks and Hispanics. In Guyana, blacks and Hispanics, same garrison, same ghetto next door. And you would have said to yourself, but two race of people, because we don't know about that in Jamaica, you know, because we don't live amongst the Chinese, you know. We don't know about two races of people living together in Jamaica. That, to we, that unspeakable. But we're blacks and Hispanic, any country that you have blacks and Hispanics, them live in the same garrison. In New York, when you're looking at it in the projects, blacks and Hispanics. You might have Hispanics over there and blacks over there, but you have some Hispanic over here too, and some blacks mixed together. Same garrison, same poor, same food stamps, same everything, same oppression, same police brutality, same racism. The Chinese don't go through that. The East, not even the Africans, them not go through that. And tell me, all right, see, because we are so African, right? Like our people like to say. Tell me the last time you hear a police kill an African immigrant in America. Are you even a descendant of an African? Like, just show me it. Just show me it. We are talking a strange language tune right now in a way. Many people can't even understand where I come from, you know. When I say, I try to show you, say, we and the Hispanics that we look nothing at all like, we are the same race of people. And we and the Africans that them claim to look like, we have nothing at all in common with them. We are totally different. We are two different races of people. And that is just the facts of the matter. You understand? That is just, it's a hard reality. It's hard to digest. It don't sound right, but it's the facts. We can get into a lot more detail based on my observation, but me just going to tell you what the Bible says. Zane, show me where when last you see an African get scooped up by ICE agents. Show me the Africans that the ICE agents are scooped up in a Chicago. You have Africans there, and Africans, you certainly have illegal immigrants who are Africans. Don't doubt that fear. The Africans are, you know what I mean? They are skilled when it comes to scamming. See? They are highly professional when it comes to scamming. Don't for a second believe that many of those Africans in America are not illegal immigrants. Why aren't they getting deported? So now may I open another can of worms. Now may I try to show you, say, This oppression is targeted. It is not about illegal immigrants. It's about oppressing the children of Israel. Let me do you one better. Them are round up black people too. And when I say black people, whenever I say black people, I not talk about Africans. I want to just understand me. This is how I talk. See? Whenever I say black people, just know say, I know the Africans I talk. I talk Jamaicans, I talk Asians, I talk black Americans. Even black Brazilians and them. When I say black people, I talk about black people. Like, the you know what I mean? You know, the people them who went through slavery. See? Them are round up black people too. So them are round up blacks and Hispanics. You understand me? This oppression is targeted. Something happened that you are not aware of. You can feel the oppression, but you just can't put your finger on it. And every time you think you hit the nail on the head, something else happens and throw you off. And the reason for that is because you don't know the 100% truth. You don't know that you are from a nation of people who were meant to rule. You have a covenant to the Most High, and this world hates you because of it, especially the oppressor. The oppressor don't hate you because of the color of your skin. That's why we try to tell our people, don't hate the Hispanics because them look how them look. Them are your blood brothers. This is not colorism. We don't hate the white man because of him look, and because I crime when him commit. So it's not a color issue. It's not him white, so we don't like him. No. The white man put us through 400 and odd years of oppression and torture and killing and slavery. Of him crimes them we are charging for. See? So, you belong to a people that have a covenant with God, and it's not about your color of your skin. The oppressor don't hate you because of the color of your skin. Because your oppressor don't hate the Africans there. Oh yeah, them send some people to Africa, man. One notable case is Liberia. They did an experiment in the 1800s where they sent some people to Liberia, either the 1800s or early 1900s. Then to Liberia and to set up a nation, because with some people don't never understanding us that the Back to Africa movement was a white racist, white supremacist ideology. And that is the reason why Marcus Garvey and the Ku Klux Klan had such a good relationship, and him get a lot of burnout feet by his own people. But this is why the concept of going back to Africa was coming way before Marcus Garvey. I think it was in the 1800s, really. Because after that, Marcus Garvey come with the Back to Africa movement, which it was the white supremacists who was financing that. You see me? So, they sent some black Americans to Liberia, see, and then settle for a time, and eventually it caused war. The Africans then never want it, and eventually the Africans them unalive one of the lead, the black, the African Americans, or so-called African American brothers, see, who was at the helm over there, and them assassinate him, because really and truly the Africans don't accept us. You understand? Africans them don't accept us. They know who we are. They know so we are not for them people. They are the ones who get us out of Africa to begin with. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. So they tried that before, it just never worked out. It resulted in war. See? Of course, you have black people who migrate to Africa because they think that Africa is the motherland, when this is what the Bible said. See? So we were taught over here by the Rastafari community and the Pan-Africans group that Africa is the motherland, when this is what our Bible, where we write, says. But Jerusalem, this is Galatians 4:26. See? It said, but Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. Jerusalem is the motherland, not Africa. You understand? Jerusalem. That is where we come from, the Middle East, where them everybody want our land now. Them in our land, everybody a fight feet. And that's where we come from. Not Africa. The Africans, them knew that we never belong to Africa and kick way out of them land. You understand? Alright, so the odd 01 said, is it okay to marry a Nigerian? No. Reason being, she's not your sister. You get what I say? The same way, it is not lawful to marry a white woman. See? But it is lawful to marry a Hispanic because she's your sister. It is lawful to marry a Jamaican black woman because she's a sister. But a Nigerian is an Amite. Let me find the scripture. See? We're going to jump to Deuteronomy 7:3, and it said, neither shall thou make marriages with them. And in this particular time, this was when we were, you know what I mean, literally interacting with these Africans. When we were going into the promised land, the Most High was now kicking out these Africans out of the land because this is the Most High's good land. The Africans are the Amites. Let me say the Amites, not Africans, because at that time, there's no such thing as Africa. As a matter of fact, the word Africa comes from an Italian general named Leo Scipius Africanus. The continent is named based off of a white man. See? So, during this time when we are reading now, is when the Most High was telling us to get rid of these Amites. The Nigerians would have been these people. He told us to get rid of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Hivites. These are the Amites. You understand? So, it said, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. So, no. See? We should not marry these other nations. See? So, watch this now. Many people don't know, so that is one of the reasons why Solomon, he fell from grace, because he was married in all these other nations. Let me find it. See? So, the Christian church make a belief that the reason why Solomon sinned is because he had 1,000 wives. No, that's not why Solomon sinned. It's not a sin to have 1,000 wives. It's a sin to marry. We just read the sin a while ago. Neither shall thou make marriages with them. So if you're married these other nations, that would be a sin because the law says don't marry them. So in essence, a sin is when you break God's law. A sin would be a crime. Remember, these was laws given to us as a nation. So in our nation, this would be a crime. And a crime is what a sin is. But this, in particular, it's a sin or a crime against God's laws. Right? And we had God's laws. Nobody else have it. So that's why breaking them would be a sin. You understand? So, this said, 1 King 3:1, and it said, and Solomon made affinity with Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and took Pharaoh's daughter and brought her into the city of David until he had made an end of building his house and the house of the Lord and the wall of Jerusalem. So Pharaoh's daughter would be Egyptian or African. See? Now let me find the scripture now will tell you that this is the reason why the kingdom was split. You know what I mean? So that is an example of an African. We married in an African, see? And this is what happened to Solomon because of it. See? So this said, but King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh. See, the same daughter of Pharaoh, me just read. See? Women of the Moabites. Who are the Moabites? The Moabites are the Chinese. Miss Chin. Solomon break the Most High laws. Being the wisest man on earth, break the Most High laws. See? And married these heathens. See? Ammonite, Africans. No, Slovakia. Ammonite is the Japanese. See? Edomites, that are white women. Zidonians, that are Africans. Hittites, Africans. See? And of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them. So all these nations, Solomon married them women. When the Most High tell us that we should not go in unto them. You understand? So yes, brother, marrying a Nigerian would be a sin, isn't it? You have whole heap right now if you're in Canada, you say? When you say in Canada, if you're in Canada, you know how much Jamaican woman that love you right now, rude boy. Just take a trip, come a yard, man. You know what I mean? And Hispanics, they up there too. You can find Hispanics. You know what I mean? The Mexicans, them, I go up there too for a better life. 6 asks me, are you from Jamaica? Yeah, born and raised, still live in Jamaica. I mean, nowhere else than Jamaica. And some people might feel like I come from foreign or rare. No, Virgin. Jamaican. All right, here we go on now. It's not necessarily say hard, to find a good woman. You just have to take your time when you are dealing with woman. Here in the ISUPK, we have a thing called the 6-month rule. See, where the 6 months you come in at school, you learn. You know what I mean? If you see a sister where you like after 6 months, then you go to that sister, you court her for 6 months. You don't sleep with the sister until the 6 month pass. That is time enough for you to understand what that sister is all about. Our problem is we want us as a book a woman, you know what I mean, we want to have sex with her the same night or the same week. That alone should have tell us that she's not a good woman. If she allow you to do that, I'm not a good woman. You understand? So, and the 6 month rule, they work for we. You understand? So, like me I say, so Solomon, he married these other nations and that caused the kingdom to split. So now, the nation split. Jerusalem, so you have 3 tribes together, that is Benjamin, Levi, and Judah over one side, which is the southern kingdom. And then you have the Hispanics them now, we separate. See, to the northern kingdom, you have Gad, Naphtali, Ephraim, Asher, you know what I mean? Them split. And we were at odds with each other from them time then. The Most I tell Solomon said, because of this sin, when married other nations woman, who not welcome. All right, you see, if you're not black Hispanic or Native Indian, talking about the black people who serve slavery here over here in the West are Hispanic or Native Indian, which is basically all the people of the Americas, the original native of the Americas. You are not from the 12 tribes of Israel if you are not from those people. See? If you're, you know what I mean? Yeah, Haitians are our people. The Haitians, our people. That's the tribe of Levi. See? So, only the 12 tribes of Israel alone can join the school. A white man can't join the school. See? An African can't join the school. You understand? A Asian, how you spell it? ASIAN or AIN can't join the school. A Chinese man can't join the school. A Japanese can't join the school. An Arab can't join the school. This is only for the 12 lost tribes of Israel, which are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. According to the Bible and according to archaeology, according to history, these are the 12 the Israelites who were displaced from our homeland. Panama. Are you a Panamanian? Panama. You come from Panama? Panama say, don't use this star. Which star? This is not a star. When you look up in the sky, a star is a circular ball of gas that glows in the night sky. You know what I mean? If you ask astronauts and meteorologists or people who, you know what I mean, understand space, then we tell you say a star is, our sun is a star. So it's really a circular. So you say always, big up yourself, Panama. We love the Panamanian people, and those are our brothers. You know what I mean? Blood brothers. See? Jamaicans and Panamanians are blood brothers. You understand? Whether you're Hispanic Panamanian, whether you're black Panamanian, you are same race of people. See? So, back to the explanation. This is not a star. This is 2 Hebrew letters. Right? And it spells David name. Now, in David name, you have a third letter. So David name in Hebrew is THAWADAH. In Hebrew, the Da would represent a character, the Wa would represent a character. See? So David name has 2 Da. So THAWADAH, so you have a Da, a Wa, and another Da. See? Now, the Wa, which it looks like a hook, like a bingy. Jamaicans know what a bingy look like, a bingy crook. See? That is how the Wa looks. The Da looks like a triangle. See? The Da in David name look like a triangle. So the Wa, however, will look like the bingy crook. It is it's used as a preposition to mean and. So David interpreted his name as Da and Da. So Da and Da. So 2 Da. So you take out the Wa and just put the 2 Da together and flip one upside down and you get this. So he said this is FIRME name, his logo. And this eventually became the seal of Israel. The signet. You understand? So this is not a star. No. The conspiracy theorists dig and find other places who stole this because we were in captivity. They use it for all type of things and rate, which is just superstition. Because this don't really have no power. No. This is just a king's signet. You understand? But secret societies use it for, and how these secret societies work is them just gather everything and bastardize it and say it means this and them. You know what I mean? But really and truly, it don't belong to them. You know what I mean? But this is not a star, Panama. You know what I mean? Big up, shout out to the people in Panama. Hopefully one day we can reach down Panama and make this truth reach down Panama. You see? Make the Panamanians them know that they are God's chosen people. They are the best people on the face of the earth. You understand? One day, maybe Panama can be our soldier in Panama. Who knows? And let's see. You know what I mean? Yeah, so, yeah, his signature, it's a signature. He wear it all on him ring. And have it on a stamp too. So, whatever decree he make throughout the nation, it would not be sealed by that. I had say this. The Jewish man, because he know that he still use it, but this don't belong to the Jewish man. Many people see us with this and think we support the Israelis, but no, this is just we taking back what belongs to us. You understand? Yeah, man, this is not satanic in any kind of way or way. It belongs to us. This is a royal signet, and we are the royal people. This is ours. We are taking it back now because our captivity is over. Our captivity done right now. Now is the time for us to turn back to the Most High. You get me? Yeah, you know what I mean? J33 said, you know, all stolen knowledge, everything what the oppressor take, nothing belong to him, just steal it. You know what I mean? Just, everybody who him conquer, him just steal them knowledge. And then say him. You know what I mean? Alright, how do you know? I think it's a good note to close the class out pan still. I'll close out the class, you know. Everybody watching, remember to like, follow, share, subscribe, depending on the platform you're watching on. We are the ISUPK. The ISUPK under commanding General YAHANNA. We teach that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the 12 lost tribe of Israel, God's chosen people. See? Blacks and Hispanics are blood brothers. Don't watch the resemblance. Don't get tricked by that. See? And with that, we're going to go to the security announcements. And if you even check it, enough Hispanics don't look like other Hispanics. For example, a Puerto Rican don't look like a Native Indian. True or false? A Puerto Rican don't look like a Native Indian. See? A Brazilian don't look like a Mexican. But we know that all these people are native to the land. Right? They are one people. They are family. They all came over here from one place at one particular time. So we as the darker ones, and let me not say darker ones, because you have Mexicans who are darker than me. You understand? You have Native Indians who are darker than me. But we, the tribe of Levi, Judah, and Benjamin, who came over here from Africa and from Britain and Scotland, we and these Hispanics are the same race of people. You understand? If you go far further in history, you will see that we come from one origin, one nation of people. And as we say, because of SHALAM, that is how we split. All right, so we're going to jump to the security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, a brother or sister will get permission from the head to have marriage. See? Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi chapter 3 verse 8 to 10, which means tenth in the Hebrew, and it's pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, whatsoever amount you like. Upcoming holy convocation. All right, so the next holy day we will have, remember, we don't celebrate holidays. We don't celebrate Christmas. And it's funny, the Christian church promotes all these holidays and they are not in the Bible. Well, we celebrate the ones that are in the Bible, and we are celebrating the Feast of Dedication or HANUkkah in the next, let's see. See? So next holy day is the Feast of Dedication or HANUkkah, which is the 25th day of the 9th month. So, on the Most High's calendar, it's the 25th day of the 9th month. But on the oppressor's calendar, see, it's Sunday the 14th of December. You know what I mean? You can find the Feast of Dedication in 1 Maccabees 4:52 to 61. You understand? Reminded Akiam and Akwatiam to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to join the school as a trooper, then he should start attending class in full black, see, including black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I Mariam Shabbat, I Mariam Barak, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Barakatham, Yadamata, class dismissed. All right, so shalom to everybody who's, watching currently. Looking forward to seeing you in class soon. And with that, shalom.